This little jar might look simple, but it's one of the most effective ways to unlock all the benefits of medicinal mushrooms. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to make a dual extracted mushroom tincture. This process is fundamentally the same regardless of whether you're doing reishi, lion's mane, cordyceps, or a bunch of other mushrooms. I'm going to break down each step, the ratios I use, and exactly why dual extraction is the key to getting the most out of all of your mushrooms. And trust me, once you see how easy this process is, you're going to be asking yourself why you haven't been making your own tinctures this whole time. Alright, so let's get started by grabbing your mushroom of choice. I just finished harvesting some lion's mane, so I'm going to be using that today. The first step is to dehydrate our mushrooms. I slice the mushrooms thinly so they can fit nicely on my tray. Then we want to dehydrate them at a low temperature. I like 104 degrees for between 12 and 24 hours. Dehydrating them at a lower temperature keeps all those delicate medicinal compounds intact.
You'll know the mushrooms are done when they snap like crackers. If they bend or fold, they're gonna need some more time. Once our mushrooms are dry, it's time to grind them up.
I'm using a coffee grinder here, but you don't really need to make them that fine. In fact, I think I ground mine up a little bit too fine this time. A mortar and pestle actually works really great right here. If you leave the grind a little more coarse, it just makes it easier to filter out later. More on the fine side, and the filtration process just becomes a little bit more work, as you'll see shortly. By the way, everything I'm using in the video today is going to be linked in the description down below. So now we're going to take our ground up mushroom powder and throw it in a mason jar. This is where the real magic begins. Our alcohol extraction is going to pull out the alcohol or fat soluble compounds. Things like the triterpenoids and the hericenones. These are the key compounds linked to lion's mane's nerve and brain supporting functions. The key problem with the mushroom powder is a lot of the good beneficial compounds are trapped inside the cell wall, and unfortunately they pass through our digestive tract before we ever get the chance to really absorb those. A properly made dual extract tincture allows us to access all those benefits and not waste any of the good compounds we want to absorb. So for this extraction, I use 80 proof vodka in a 1:4 ratio. So for 100 grams of mushrooms, you would use 400 milliliters of alcohol. If using something stronger like grain alcohol, you could probably get away with like a 1:3 ratio if you wanted. Ideally, it's enough alcohol to completely cover all your mushroom powder though. Once we add in that alcohol, we're going to give the jar a good shake, and now we wait. Depending on the mushroom you're using, most alcohol extractions will take between 2 and 6 weeks. I usually just do 4 weeks as a sort of sweet spot. And all you really have to do at this point is shake that jar daily. And this is an important step that you don't want to skip. After 1 month has passed, it's time to strain out the alcohol. I like to just drape some cheesecloth over a cup or bowl, secure it in place with a rubber band, and then pour my extraction out. Now, this is where that grind really kind of comes into play. If you have a really fine grind like I do, it's going to take longer for that liquid to drip through the cheesecloth and just kind of separate. Now, after a little bit of time has passed and the dripping has slowed down, I'm just going to go ahead and manhandle this thing and squeeze the cheesecloth to get every drop that I can out of there. After you're satisfied with how much of that extract you've been able to wring out of the mushrooms, we're going to go into our hot water extract, or our decoction. This is where we're going to pull out all those water-soluble compounds, mainly polysaccharides, which are those beta-glucans you may have heard about. The goodies that we get out of this part of the extraction are usually more related to your immune health and your gut health. At this point, after weeks of waiting, we're on the home stretch. So we take this leftover mushroom material and we're going to transfer it to either a pot or maybe a sous vide if you have one. Now, unfortunately, we have to do a little bit of math here. I want my final tincture to be about 25% alcohol for shelf stability purposes. Now, after squeezing all that juice out of my first extraction, I was left with about 8 ounces of liquid, which is a 40% alcohol concentration.
So this is basically the equation I used, and try not to let it intimidate you because it's not really that crazy. You see, I'm starting with 40% alcohol and 8 ounces of total volume, and I want my goal to be 25% alcohol. So all we have to do is plug in our numbers now. So we'll multiply 40% or 0.4 by 8, which gives us 3.2 on the left side. And then on the right side, we're going to distribute that 25% or 0.25 times our 8 ounces plus what we want to solve for, so x in this case, which gives us 2 plus 0.25x on the right side. Next, we just subtract 2 from either side, leaving us 1.2 equal to 0.25x. Then we just need to divide by 0.25, and that gives us a total of 4.8 ounces of water, or roughly 5.
To bring that concentration to 25%, I can add a total of about 5 ounces of water. Any more than that, and it's going to bring the concentration a little bit lower than I'd prefer. Now, 5 ounces doesn't really seem like that much water to successfully perform this decoction, so I'm actually going to add a little bit more, as I'm also going to lose some to evaporation anyway. So I'm going to start by adding 8 ounces of water with the full intention of adding some more maybe halfway through. I set my sous vide to 175 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to set a timer for 4 hours. If you don't have a sous vide, a regular pot works just fine. Just throw that thermometer in there and keep the temperature between 160 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything hotter than that can really damage these good compounds that we've worked so hard to extract. You can also buy little sous vide attachments that just kind of clip onto your pot, and they will keep the water at a set temperature. I think they cost like 40 bucks, and they could be really worth the peace of mind if you do plan on making tinctures on a regular basis. Now, as expected, we're about halfway through the decoction, and I can see the water level's gone down a little bit, so we're just gonna pour some more water in there. After 4 hours, the decoction is all finished. Once again, I'm just gonna pour it into some cheesecloth and wait for the liquid to separate. You might notice how different this looks from the first extraction. This hot water batch looks really viscous and like almost creamy, which rest assured is actually a good sign. This thicker texture is a result of those polysaccharides being released, which is a sign that our decoction was a success. This one, unfortunately, doesn't really seem to want to drip through on its own, so I'm just gonna grab it and squeeze the hell out of it. After letting out all my stress and squeezing this thing for what felt like 3.5 days, I'm left with 6 ounces of extract. I'm just gonna mix this decoction back in with my alcohol extract now. With 6 ounces of decoction and 8 ounces of alcohol extract, that's gonna bring the total alcohol percentage to about 23%, which is slightly lower than I wanted, but it's still gonna have a pretty good shelf life. If this was gonna sit on my shelf for like over a year for some reason, I would definitely wanna get that alcohol percentage up a bit more, but I'm gonna go through this over the next couple months anyway. I ended up with enough tincture to fill 4 dropper bottles, which I'm pretty satisfied with. If I pull 3 milliliters from one of these bottles every day, each one should last me about a month, and each one of those servings will be good for about 1 gram of lion's mane. I might put it in my coffee, add it to a smoothie, or take it straight and chase it with a little water, but I will say it's not the best tasting thing I've ever had. For anyone wondering if it changes the taste of the coffee, I would say it tastes a little more lion's mane-y. And that's really all there is to it. If this seems like a lot of work and you'd rather trade a little potency for convenience, you can just make mushroom capsules instead, and I show you exactly how to do that in this video right over here. And that settles that. Thanks for watching and happy growing. Lion's mane.